Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about the wisest zodiac signs. Now, when I make this disclaimer, I'm going to make a disclaimer. Um, Anything that's in language, anything that's out there in society for you to do, every zodiac sign has the ability of doing these things. Now, so that's not the question. The real question, and actually what's the real answer, is how it's being done. So every zodiac sign has the ability to be wise. Every zodiac sign has the ability to be aggressive. Every zodiac sign has the ability to be anything that's out here in society. But the question is, or the answer is, how it's being done. And every zodiac sign does these things in their own separate way. See what I'm saying? So also when we want to talk about but as far as making that disclaimer, every sign is ruled or by a certain planet, or a certain planet is exalted in that sign. So it's just going to be things that that planet naturally gives as gifts to the signs that it ruled or is exalted in. But when we talk about the exaltations can actually exalt itself in that energy. So it can kind of lead bad into bad places. But there's a good and bad into everything. But just when we talk about exaltations and fallen planets, these play out in extremes. So let's break down what's the wisest zodiac signs. Now the wisest zodiac signs is Pisces, Sagittarius, and Cancer. Now you probably thinking right now, like, why them? You probably around a lot of Pisces right now thinking like, okay, they're very careless, or they're very reckless. You probably around a Sagittarius right now like, this person is real goofy. I can't take this person serious. You probably around a Cancer right now like, this person is too emotionally involved in whatever things that they're clinging on that I'm not trying to be involved with. Here's the thing. You have a misconception about being wise. And even if you are a Pisces, Sag, or a Cancer, you may miss the idea of why you're wise. And these are the benefits that you have. So this is what you need to understand. Now, this is why each of these signs is the wisest sign. So let's start with Pisces. Now, Pisces is co-ruled by Neptune. So when we talk about outer planets, these are co-rulers. So it's like a 50-50 type of energy that the planet, that the sign can receive. So you're just able to utilize that energy with the energy that actually runs your sign in the first place. So when we want to talk about Pisces, this is the way Pisces express being wise or wisdom. Now, Pisces is mutable water, being mutable and being able to adapt and change to its own or other people's ways of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So this what makes Pisces very wise in that area. This what can make Pisces chameleons. You don't know if a Pisces an air sign, fire sign, or earth sign, or water sign, because they're like chameleons. They could go with the flow. They know how to take shape and form. So this what makes them wise. And a lot of times Jupiter brings experiences. So experiences could be good or bad, but the experiences is always going to cause expansion. When we talk about expansion, that's actually at being consciously aware of wisdom and knowledge and being able to have new meanings and reasonings to tie behind the experiences that Jupiter is going to bring. So it's ultimately beneficial, regardless if the experience comes to you good or bad. So this is what they mean by Jupiter and Zeus and striking down. It means it's going to put you into an experience either that you need to learn or put you in an experience that make you realize something that you already have known. So when we talk about Pisces, Pisces does this very well when we talk about the emotions and the feelings. This is Pisces area. This is Pisces area of life right there. You know what I'm saying? This is how Pisces actually are wise. So this is what make Pisces psychic, because they have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, because they know how to tie meaning and reasonings to how they feel. So they got a lot of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to how you feel, your emotional stance on things. So they know how to pick up vibes. They know how to pick up vibes from themselves and others in the rooms and the vibrations, and know how to go with the flow. So this is what make, now with that trait right there, this is one of the reasons and this is why Pisces is one of the most wise zodiac signs. Now, whether they use this power or not is up on them, and that goes for every zodiac sign that has powers. Next, Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is mutable fire. Being mutable, being able to adapt to its own or change to its own or other people's ways of seeing things and feeling about the things or the circumstance that they are in. You know what I'm saying? So where water feels and deals with the emotions, fire feels and deals with ways of seeing things. So this will make fire signs have intuition, have visions. So when we have Jupiter here, Sagittariuses are wise when it comes to seeing how other people view things, seeing how other people express themselves, seeing how they know how to go with the flow with the overall expression. They know how to go with the fire flow. They know how to analyze, well not analyze, but kind of pick up and sense and see how other people view things, how other people see things, and how other people feel about things based upon the circumstance that we are in, that we're in the world. So they sense visions and they come to a broad conclusion on these visions in general. So off the bat, Sagittariuses are wise when it comes to viewpoints, when it comes to ways of seeing things, when it comes to ways of feeling about things. You see what I'm saying? Because and then they tie higher meanings and reasonings because they are seeing how other people see things and how other people feel about things. And a lot of times this can revolve around educations, religions, spiritualities, you know what I'm saying? Just ways of seeing the world that you in. And then they come to a broad perspective on how you're supposed to see and feel about these things in general. So when Jupiter kicks in, it makes a Sagittarius wise to viewpoints. This is why Sagittarius may be the first person who see a lot of different religions, or may be a preacher or a teacher. Or you see where Pisces may be wise at dealing with the emotions and feelings and dealing with the psyche and dealing with understanding the collective conscious of how people feel and deal with emotions. Sagittarius is wise at dealing with the collective conscious of how they see these things and how they feel about these things. So this will make Sagittarius open-minded, and this what makes them like to travel within the mind also. So that means not being caged in, because they don't want to stay confined into one philosophy, into one meaning and reasoning behind something, into one experience. So Jupiter brings upon them, even if they don't, Jupiter is going to put them in a bunch of experiences that make, even if they're not the smartest people, Jupiter will put them in experiences that make them feel dumb in order for them to spark something inside them to make them learn something, to make them gain or to make them gain a lot of wisdom on the realm of reality of being dumb. You see what I'm saying? But it's always going to be, and Jupiter is going to bring experiences that's going to expand and elevate. And with this, and with in Sagittarius, it's expanding and elevating the viewpoint and ways of seeing the world and feeling about the world and visions in general. So they're spiritually wise. Pisces is like soul wise. You know what I'm saying? And emotionally wise. Now let's get to Cancer. Now Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So anytime we get to an exaltation, you can get exhausted here. So a lot of times it may get overbearing, overexcited. Cancers get overexcited. They can get overexcited and expand their emotions and feelings to the point that they put themselves in situations where they have to become gaining meanings and reasonings behind why they feel chaotically the way they feel and things of that nature. And then when we get to it being exalted, though, Cancers is some of the most wisest people in the world. So they're really psychic. They have dreams and see when things coming, and they don't know that they're actually manifesting this themselves, because Jupiter is going to expand. Now, Cancer is cardinal water, initiating and creating new ways of handling the emotions and feelings. So right here, Cancers are very wise with dealing with their own emotions and feelings. This is why a Cancer will not want to go out somewhere faster than someone else because they just feel it. And even if something didn't happen, it wasn't their vibe in the first place because they're wise to their own soul. They're wise to their own vibe. You see what I'm saying? So cancers have a lot of wisdom, and that all that nurturing and wisdom and caring could take them into areas of life where they end up learning how to do a lot of things that's revolved around the home, or taking care of things, or taking care of business, or even cooking and nurturing and things of that nature. But they can overexhaust themselves in this wisdom and knowledge too, and burn themselves out from their own emotions and feelings, to the point that sometimes they may step into them days where they don't want to feel nothing at all. They just want to actually do what everyone else is doing, and because they sometimes they feel like other people are doing things without an emotional thing attached. Because a cancer will look at a person and be like, how can that person just do that without feeling a certain way? I feel a certain way. You see what I'm saying? And what you have to understand is just cancers. That's just your own unique way of feeling. So by you having so much wisdom and knowledge, a lot of times you can over exhaust and burn yourself out when it comes to situations dealing with the emotions and feelings. You can kind of dive too deep into how a circumstance may feel before you even experience it. You may dive too deep into an expression or a worry before even experiencing that worry. So then you take that aura and that energy and carry it with you into situations that may not even involve that energy. So you may be perceived as moody or overly tense or things of that in that nature. And that's in those kind of situations. And that's going to show you where you're kind of over exhausted by Jupiter. But stand like a kid at Disneyland, or a place like you always want to be, that's Jupiter in Cancer. So you're already wise to the emotions and feelings because you know your vibe, and you wise to the emotional awareness and who to deal with and who not to deal with. This is why Cancers know how to overpower people a lot of times due to their emotions and feelings. Cancer could throw something on you, throw an emotional weight on you that you would have to carry, and you feel like you're responsible for it. See, cancers are wise to this. So if they don't know that they're utilizing this power, then shame on them. But that's what's going on. And that's gonna wrap up the wisest zodiac signs. Pisces, Sagittarius, and Cancer. Flight boss bitch, goddamn man.